Before I start the video, guys, I just want everyone to know that this document will be available in the description. You can have a look at it. It contains all the solves. It contains the statistics, that are move count, timing, turns per second, and it contains all my thoughts on the solves. So this continues for all 5 solves, and I give some nice stats in the end. Mean TPS, mean average, stuff like that. So this document is really useful. Please go through it along with the video. I'm sure you'll find it helpful. Hello there, guys. So today I'm going to be doing a video on what we can learn from Akshaansh Chilakapati, also known as SpaceTime cubing, a good friend of mine. And in that video, in his 5 solves, he used the Usian Riddle magic, and this is my Usian Riddle magic. It is full with the Spef's lettering scheme, as you can see. So I'm going to just go wash this off and come back quickly. As you can see, it did not come off, and now I have a wet cube. So I'm just going to be using one of these.
$760.
Right then, guys, let's get into Akshansh's first solve, which was a 7.60 second solve with blinding 8.5 TPS. So in this scramble, the cross edges are here, here, here and here. Akshansh is a white only solver, and this is how he did cross. He inserted orange with an R, inserted green with an F prime with his ring finger F prime, regrip to do L, did D prime, and then regrip to do R2 prime. So that was his cross. Now I want to show you this cross frame by frame right over here. Picked up, did R, look at that F prime. Look at that F prime. How cool is that? F prime. Then regrip, L, D, regrip R2. How cool? How cool is that? So now after you do a cross, here the most obvious F12 choices you would see are probably blue-orange, like this. Or maybe green-orange with a rotation or a commutator. Or maybe even red-blue, like this. But what Akshaansh went for is the only pair that wasn't this obvious, which is red-green, like this. And while inserting this, I suspect he saw that this was a split pair that could have been inserted. But instead of doing this first, he continued doing this and then went on with this with that F12 pair. In my opinion, he should probably have just done this first if he saw it, and then went on with this. But it's up to him. He had good enough TPS to pull that off. Then next obvious pair would be this green-orange right here, right? But this, he had 16.67 TPS in a solve for those 12 moves. We can't even reset. What's wrong with me? 16.67 TPS. Let me just try getting something like that. 16.67 TPS. No, I can do better. No, I can't. Okay, 0.61. That's almost 20 TPS. I'll take that. Akshaansh has 16.67 TPS in a solve. I had almost 20 TPS at an isolated attempt with multiple attempts. So, good job to Akshaansh. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, then next pair, this stuff. He did the F prime RUF prime solution. The better option is sledge insert because it's fewer moves, but it also destroys edge orientation and gives them a terrible OLL. So this is good, right? No, that's bad. Okay. And then easy OLL into easy PLL. That's cool. That's neat. What can we learn from this solve? First thing we can learn from this solve, ring finger F prime. Second thing we can learn from this cross, maybe look for multi-slotting opportunities. That's a nice multi-slotting opportunities. The most obvious FL pair isn't necessarily the best one. Like, this gives terrible remaining pairs. But this, ooh, look at the multi-slot. Setting up multiple pieces at once. Third thing we can learn, have blindingly fast TPS. Faster than that. Have blindingly fast TPS in a solve. When you have easy RUGen cases, just spam TPS, you don't need to worry. Fourth thing we can learn from him, this nice fancy F12 pair and how to preserve edge orientation. We know that this is the better alg, but we also know that that ruins edge orientation. So we will do a different alg, that is this. And then that's it. Fifth thing we can learn from him, how to get good LL cases. Let's go on to the next solve.
$879.
The raw footage of me covering the last solve was like 5 minutes. So I'm going to try and do this one faster. This was an 8.797 with 7.62 TPS. What was his cross? Okay, so here are cross pieces: blue, red, green, orange. This is what he did first. Inserted green, inserted orange. D2. First pair was... what first pair? First pair was this blue red thing. So like that. Second pair was nasty. Second pair was really bad. Look at this blue orange. How would you solve it? You solve it like this. How did Akshaansh solve it? On the other hand, he solved it like this. That's not good. But one thing that can be said for that solution is if he would have done this the normal way, he would have filled up his front slots. But doing it the way he did, he opened up his front slots, giving a much better look ahead for the next two pairs. At a stage when you're faster though, that shouldn't matter. You should just do the objectively faster solution. What was his third pair? This was his third pair, very similar. And this was his fourth pair. Pretty standard. Now, OLL. The algorithm I use personally is different. It's MURUGen, fancy. What he does is the simple beginner method kind of thing, giving him an OLL CP. What is his TPS for OLL? That's what I want to know. He did OLL in 1.977. That's actually pretty bad for OLL. Oh, he did it in exactly 2 seconds. That's really bad for OLL. With 7 TPS, that's not good. The algorithm I use is... oh, that are giving you a period skip. Oh my goodness. Akshaansh, go learn that algorithm, man. Right. Let's try to compare these algorithms. Fastest I got 174. Let's try my alg. 132. I think Akshaansh can figure out which alg he should learn now after this video. There is another RUF gen alg that I don't remember, but that's also a decent option if he doesn't like the sort of M moves. And what was his PLL? He had a Ua Perm, but again it wasn't a good execution. Let me show you why. He did the RUGen alg, so he did it like this. Wait, what is that alg? I personally don't use it. That was the alg. And he did it in 1 point. No, he did it in more than 2 seconds. More than 2 seconds is not good. It's not good for a U Perm. U Perm should be sub 1. Like, come on. That's not what a U Perm should look like. That's not what a U Perm should look like either. That's what a U Perm should look like. So now what can we learn from this solve? Look for this kind of thing. Where this, if you would solve it normally, it would be opposite each other. But what you can do is this. It's pretty easy to finger trick. Look for this kind of case and cross. Secondly, that's really fast. Everyone should know it. Yeah, that's it in F12. I don't really recommend learning everything else. Third thing, this easy OLL. If you're a beginner, this might actually be a decent algorithm for you. Remember, bar over here, corner over here. Then, third thing, U Perm in the back. It might be worth learning that algorithm if you can actually do it fast, unlike Akshaansh.
$8.95.
So while watching that solve, some of you might have noticed that he had a rotation during cross. And let me just show you his cross. Cross pieces are here, 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 and here. It's not a very obvious cross, somewhat lengthy move count wise. He solved orange and blue like this, and then he rotated. But before he rotated, he did something really cool to make that rotation actually worth it. He did L with his index finger like this, and then he had a really nice solution here. So it was actually worth it to rotate. So let me show you this L frame by frame right over here. Inserts orange, inserts blue. Look at where his index finger is. That's where his index finger is. He gets into position to rotate. He does L with his index finger while rotating. Ooh, how cool is that? How cool is that? It's not that cool because there's big lockup, but except for that big lockup, it's very cool. He did that L, he did his cross. He has this nice free pair setup here. He rotates, inserts it in the back, very important. And then what does he do? And then he does some garbage. That beautiful cross, that beautiful free pair, and then he does this. He does red blue, takes out the edge, and then solves it like this. Or does he? No, he solves it like this, not even like that. No, that's not good, right? I think some of you may agree that's not good. That's not a good solution. What he should obviously have done is this, rotate. But no, what he did is this. Yeah, he didn't even do this. He did this. That's not good. Don't learn that, guys. Second, this nice thing. Third, fourth, fifth. So let's see what we can learn from that solve. This is the wrong scramble, isn't it? Let's see. Sometimes, very rarely, sometimes it's okay to rotate and cross. Sometimes. Another thing, sometimes it's okay to make moves while rotating. Look at that. This L is technically an F because it's rotated, but it is just before rotating. Make good use of free pairs. If you have them and you know you're going to have them, insert them in the back. Inserting them in the back is a very nice habit. Completely ignore this, please. This is not worth learning. That's not even what it did. Again, for this is an easy origin case, right? So he spammed TPS on it, obviously. And what is his TPS? 14 TPS for these 8 moves. How cool is that? 8 moves, 14 TPS. Would this have been cooler? Oh yeah, that would actually have been better because edge orientation. I don't know how to set it up. Yeah, doing this would have been better. This fancy alg. But never mind. 14 TPS. Can I do it faster? Probably not. What's 8 divided by 4.4 or 0.4? That's 18 TPS. Okay, I can do it faster. Thank goodness. Again, origin spam. Now this. Most beginners might think they have to do this OLL like this. No, that's garbage. Don't do that. The best way to do this is like this. And then RED form. Okay, someone's calling me. I'm going to go and then film this later.
Ah, 1037.
Let's get into Akshaansh's fourth solve, guys. This was somewhat bad for him. He had a 10.37. So let's look at cross x prime. Okay. So cross edges are here, 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 and here. So this is what he does. Starts off here. No. Starts off here, green on bottom. D, inserting this. L to insert this. Regrip. U2, matching up orange. Inserting orange while removing blue. Inserting blue. How long was that cross? It doesn't seem very finger trick friendly. That was a 1.56 cross. Okay. So what is his first pair? First pairs that I see are blue red, maybe green red, maybe even blue orange, green orange. Sorry, green orange doesn't seem that bad if you do it with this fancy alg. So what does he go for? He fumbles a little bit looking for a good first pair as well, and then he goes for red blue like this. Then he does red green like this. Then orange frame. That's pretty good F12 so far. And then here he messes up a bit. I have a long sequence of moves written here. So rotate, U prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Lock up here as well, I guess. Or maybe he saw that this was a dot case and then instead of going into this, he just came back and did sledge. Honestly, I don't think this dot case is that bad. It's actually pretty good. You shouldn't be avoiding dot cases if they are making you lose time. So this is the OLL he got. This is a pretty nice OLL, but I don't think it's comparable to the dot OLL. They will both probably be the same. So again, he recognizes a little bit and then does the OLL. And then he has this very strange G perm. I don't like his G perm. I personally don't think it's a good alg. I know some people have used this with great success, but I don't think Akshaansh or me are one of those people. So let's go over the cross again. What can we learn from this solve? This is right scramble. Don't tell me I miscramble again. Oh no, yeah, this is the right scramble. So when you have this kind of setup thing and your next two edges don't look that great, This is something we saw Ram Thakur doing as well, having cross here and then doing a wide move instead of something else like this. He cancelled out the rotation with this last move. That's good. Third, make use of easy RU gen algs. So this isn't necessarily an easy case because you will have to rotate, but because it's only 2 gen, it's really fast. That can be done really fast, and Akshaansh did it really fast. This can also be done really fast, but Akshaansh messed up because right orientation. Honestly, he should have probably recognized it would be in a dot case over here. If he recognized this was dot, he could easily have just gone into sledge immediately. But never mind. For those of you who don't know this OLL alg, please learn this. This is basically like half a T Perm. This is how you start off T Perm. And then instead of going U prime, you go U. And then insert it again. Pretty easy alg. And then for some of you who have fancy zoomer finger tricks, you could try out this alg. It's not a horrible algorithm, but it's not very safe. Like Akshaansh did this in 2.5. That's garbage for a PLL. 2.5 is not what should be done in. What can I do it in? I can't do it. My fastest time with this alg is a time of DNF. Some of you will probably just say get good, but like if I can't even execute it, is it even worth getting good at? So let's go into the next solve.
That's a bad solve. 978.
So let's get into Akshaansh's last and final solve with a time of 9.789, which is kind of bad for him and kind of ruined his average. He was well on his way to getting a sub 9 average of 5 there. So this is a miscramble. So cross pieces are here, here and here. Looks like a pretty straightforward cross. If you look deep enough, you might see that this is a free pair as well once cross is done. And yeah, I think this corner comes up as well along with this edge. So this is the cross. Inserting green orange. Inserting red blue. So free pair here. This corner is up. This corner is up. So Akshaansh took some time to align the cross. I don't know why. Cross took him 1.72 for 9 moves. Insert this. Saw just because it came up is pretty easy. The blue orange might have been better. Again, the way to solve this is like this, LU gen. But Akshaansh does it RUL gen. And that's a mistake I would make as well, but it's not a good thing to do. Why is LU gen more efficient than RUL gen? Like look at this. Okay. Let's just look at this. That's pretty fast, right? But now imagine doing it here. That's also fast, but it's not as fast. Only Arjun versus LU Arjun. They're both fast, but they're not as fast. I'm making these videos really long, aren't I? So he did the slightly less efficient solution. Next pair is here. He does it like this. Next pair is here. What I would do personally is or this one. But Akshaansh went for the beginner's method style because I guess he didn't want to rotate, so but he had to rotate anyway. And then this OLL and then JA Perm. The PLL took him some time. 2.3 PLL. He has really bad PLL, I'm shocked. So let's look at what we can learn from this solve. Maybe Akshaansh inspected this, maybe he didn't, but if he did, then this is something you can learn, that this pair will end up as a free pair. Why? Because none of my cross moves affected except this R prime and F prime. Look, the pair is still here, pair is still here, pair is still here, and now R prime and F prime. Those are the only two moves affecting that pair, and that sets it up. Insert, green, orange. This is another thing you can learn. This is actually a half decent case. Some people may think it's a bad actual case. It's not. Another thing. How fast was this fourth pair? Fourth pair was 1.6 with 6 TPS. 7 TPS. That's not bad. Beginner's method isn't always bad then. Maybe sledge would have been faster. But yeah, beginner's method isn't that bad. He used it well. This OLL. Felix got a W over that OLL. Everyone should know that OLL. And this PLL. This is the ALG that I personally use. I know some others prefer this kind of stuff. But this is the ALG that I personally prefer. And it seems like that's the ALG Akshaansh prefers as well. So all in all, his PLLs have been pretty bad. This one, the U Perm, the G Perm. That's 3 out of 5 really bad PLLs, more than 2 seconds. So to end this, Akshaansh had a mean TPS of 2.5. That's insane TPS. Felix has a mean TPS of 8.5. So this is pretty good TPS. He has a mean move count of 69 moves. Nice. Average move count at world class is around 50, low 60, high 50, I think. So move count can certainly be reduced, but I think they have a low move count because of advanced ALG sets and like fancy crosses. So Akshaansh should probably work on inspection and stuff. I didn't really see a lot of first pair manipulation from him. He just did the first cross he thought of and dealt with whatever F2L he got. So I think he can definitely up his inspection game. Average of 5 was a 9.818 because of that last solve. Otherwise it was easily like mid 8, low 9 average. Mid 8 sub 9 average. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is a very noisy cube. I'm probably going to switch to this one.